also referenced, I think, an interview you had where you spoke about this issue, specifically that there was an IP report regarding these matters that was not acted upon. You recall that interview?
Yes.
And I would like us to play that clip and then to appreciate the response you gave to the journalist at the time. It should come up shortly.
If there are, but we believe that there's more money that is still sitting within Sintel.
The iPad report for us was very vague, and I was unable to discipline anyone. We had to take that iPad report to our investigation. We appointed an independent investigator through the internal audit, and the report was out. We'll share the report with you so that you can start disciplining people. So from that report, the acting chief of police has done nothing wrong. He's cleared. So iPad, they can go ahead if they want to arrest him, if they think he is wrong, because they are police officers. But from our side, in terms of the DC and investigation, there's nothing wrong that the acting chief of police has done. He's been cleared by our report, and for as long as there's nothing that they're doing from their side, if they believe that he is wrong, there's nothing I can do as an accounting officer. He reports to me. Even the chief of police, who is on suspension, he reports to me. If there's any wrongdoing from his side, I must do my own investigation, and I must also subject that person to a DC. I can't subject my officers to a DC based on a report that I myself do not understand, because I had to take it to legal, and legal analyze the report, and they refer the report to internal audit.
We're issuing fines.
Thank you. I won't even summarize my key takeouts, but I'll ask questions based on what I understood your responses to have been. My first is that you indicate in that interview that Brigadier Mkhwanazi did nothing wrong. You say he was cleared by the report, and you reference an internal audit report that cleared him. Did I understand you correctly? Dr. Mashazi?
Exactly, I'm listening.
Did I understand you correctly?
Yes, ma'am.
What internal audit report is this?
The internal report, remember I said I referred the report to HOD Legal. And HOD Legal confirmed, I think there was some annexure from Mr. Ngweza's testimony.
Yes.
And I don't want to dwell into that, because the HOD Legal will talk about that, about their response and about going through the report and about their own opinion advising the accounting officer. Remember, I'm not a lawyer. Any legal document that come to me, I must refer it to corporate and legal. Hence, we have that department. So whatever advice sitting here, I think the opinion, it was their opinion then at that point. But looking at the serious allegation now, I feel the HOD should come and talk to the opinion. If I was misled, I will accept.
Okay, we will take the offer, and we will invite the head of legal accordingly. My particular interest is, particularly as an accounting officer, you very specifically reference a document and you call it internal audit report. That's a very specific term, and I'm sure you understand what that means. And you said that specific report cleared Mr. Mkhwanazi. My question is, where and how When did you see that report? Who did you receive it from? And how can the Commission obtain a copy thereof?
It was from the Chief Audit Executive.
Sorry, please say that again.
Chief Audit Executive.
And who was the Chief Audit Executive?
It was Philip Rapal.
Philip Rahwani.
Yeah.
And when was that, considering that the IPID report I referenced you at page 101 of Mapieye annexures is dated the 1st of September 2023. So I take it that the internal audit report would be dated after that date.
Exactly.
Would you recall how much later after that date to assist our search?
I wouldn't. I don't recall, ma'am.
You don't recall. Now, you said in no uncertain terms in that interview that it cleared Mr. Mkhwanazi and that he did nothing wrong. What in the report, what wording appeared in the report that gave you such a definitive and conclusive understanding of the outcome of the internal audit exercise? Did it say, this report clears Mr. Mkhwanazi? Did it say, following extensive investigations, no wrongdoing could be established on the part of Mr. Mkhwanazi? I'm trying to understand, what was the wording, as you recall, of the report that led you to conclude as you did, and you communicated to the journalist accordingly?
I can't recall. I will still have to go back and check.
Sorry, I missed that.
I will go back and check.
You'll go back and check. Now, getting back to the IPID report, in the interview with the journalist, you said the report was vague. That's the explanation you provided. And you said, and as a result, you were unable to discipline anyone. Do you recall that bit? Now, I want to invite you to Annexure JM19 of Mapiye's annexure bundle, which I said is the actual IPID report. And if you could just highlight what in particular about that report you considered vague, with reference to the report itself.
Can you repeat your question?
We are looking at the IPID report. Have you located it in Mapiye's bundle? It's
Yes,
marked
I do.
JM19. It starts at page 101. Now, you said to the journalist in that interview that no one was disciplined because the IPID report is vague, and therefore you were unable to discipline anyone. And you don't understand the content of the report. My question is, which part of this report do you consider vague? Just by flipping through now so we can understand your challenges at the time.
The report was fully analyzed by corporate and legal. Hence, I said, can we allow Advocate Kemi to come and talk to the report and also talk to his opinion about the report? And I indicated at the beginning of my response that if I was ill-advised or given an opinion that is not sustainable from the department, can we therefore allow Advocate Kemi to come and speak to the report? That's all I'm asking.
Okay, but as I indicated, we are happy to do so, except your own words seem to suggest that you considered the report vague. Are you saying that Advocate Bihari advised you that the report is vague? Or did you form the opinion that the report is vague, the IPID report?
That is my understanding from his opinion, from what he said. That is my understanding.
Oh.
Hence, I'm saying I do not want to waste Commissioner's time by saying stories I don't know, legal stories that I don't know and understand. I will ask the Commission. Advocate Kemi Bihari is coming on the 4th to pose this question to him about the opinion he rendered to the accounting officer. Remember, I'm not an expert in all the fields. We have engineering department, legal, HR, and so forth. I'm not an expert in those areas. I rely on HODs to advise me in terms of some of these reports or programs within the city.
My question was prompted by your choice of words in that interview. You said the report is vague, but based on what you've just said now, please correct me if I'm wrong, you were not suggesting that you reached the conclusion that the report is vague, but you are saying that Advocate Bihari advised you that the report is vague. Is that what you were trying to communicate?
Yes, ma'am.
So you are not in a position to look through the report now as we sit here to try and understand which aspects of the report are vague?
No.
And you operated purely on the basis of what Advocate Bihari informed you and advised you
Exactly.
in his capacity as a lawyer?
Yes.
If we go back to your statement, then...
Can I just
Commissioner?
ask a question? Dr. Mashazi, did you read this report from IPID at all?
Yes, I went through it, and because I must interpret it properly before I take any action. Remember, IPID, in as much as there's a memorandum of understanding between ourselves and IPID. When we discipline an official in terms of the labor relation and our processes, the collective bargaining, you need to be able to, in case you are taken on legally, when you go to the labor court, because I'll be the one who will be facing the labor court, I should be able to talk to the report. But if the report is not generated from my system, we had to subject it and confirm some of the things, because as you see the report, there were no annexures attached. Okay? So I know in terms of the report, there are gross allegations that needs to be attended to. Hence, I'm saying I do not want to waste your time, ma'am, the Commission's time, by saying yes, no, yes, no. I'm requesting that we park this. Advocate Kemo will talk to it, because I was solely relying on the opinion given to me at that time. But looking at the report, obviously, I would accept that the opinion is not assisting.
The reason I ask whether you read this report when it was given to you, it's because I'm worried if an impression is created or is drawn from how you're testifying, that you received this report and simply passed it on. You didn't look at it, you didn't engage with its contents, you just passed it on to Advocate Bihari, and then he came back to you with his advice that ignore it, it's vague, and as city manager you were content to deal with things at that superficial level. I'm concerned that your evidence may be misunderstood to convey that. Hence my question, did you read this report?
Yeah, I perused the report.
Yes, you did read it.
Yeah, I perused the report.
Now, having read it,
yeah,
and you've explained that you would have to defend your position about, the position you take about it. Having read the report, and I'm going to assume that you reread it to come and testify here, what in the report in front of you did you consider to be vague, unsubstantiated conclusions about what Brigadier Mkhwanazi is being accused of?
Yeah, post the commission and the evidence that we received, the report is full of gross misconduct, and it needed an action from the city. But initially, because I just perused through the document and there was no attachment to it to confirm, that is the decision that I took after I was advised that the report is vague.
Okay. A different question still relating to this. In your evidence earlier, you say that Chief Mapiaye was responsible to discipline Brigadier Mkhwanazi. And you don't get involved with that. And indeed, this report from IPID, you're correct, is addressed to to Chief Mapieye, but we know from your evidence that it does come to your attention. But in that interview, you speak about you being responsible to discipline Brigadier Mkhwanazi. That's what you say in your words. And I'm really confused about what you're saying about your involvement with disciplinary action relating to Brigadier Mkhwanazi.
Thank you very much. If you listen to the interview, I said I have a right to discipline Mkhwanazi as an acting chief of police and including chief of police. That's my statement. Acting chief of police, you assume the responsibility of being the chief of police, and the responsibility of disciplining lies with the city manager.
So where criticism is that the city failed to discipline Brigadier Mkhwanazi arising from this report, according to this interview, that includes you. You say you relied on Advocate Behari's advice, and he will come and speak for himself. But to the extent that you own up in the interview that you have the authority to discipline your acting police chief, and you have decided not to discipline him because the report is vague and you've conducted an investigation, that's on you. It's your decision at that point not to discipline him.
Thank you, ma'am. Let me give clarity to your question. At the point of the report and the memorandum, signing of the memorandum, Mkhwanazi was a director. That's why the responsibility of disciplining him was resting in the authority of the chief of police, not the authority of the accounting officer. Hence, in my interview, I said him as an acting chief of police then, and he acted just for a short period, and the chief of police himself, they report to me, acting in the capacity of chief of police. But at the time of this incident, he was a director, and the only person that could discipline him was the chief of police.
But from the interview, we know that you made the decision, for reasons that you've given, you made the decision that there's nothing to discipline him for because an investigation has cleared him. So you made a decision when in that short time that he was acting. You made the decision arising from this IPID report, there's nothing to discipline him for because your investigation has cleared him.
I think I've answered that I was advised at that point whether the advice is admissible or the advice is helping the process. The head of legal will explain.
Okay. And then, can you just explain if the IPID report, as it is directed to the chief of police, and you say he had the authority to discipline, when you receive the same report, so we know where the authority to discipline lies according to you, it lies with the chief. When you receive the report, why do you take it to Behari when the authority lies with the chief? Why do you say to Behari, look at this, and then you rely on him now saying to you, don't discipline? It sounds like you were doing something that on your evidence didn't belong in your remit because the authority lies with the chief according to your evidence.
Thank you, ma'am. Remember, the chief of police received this from IPID, I think, when was it? The date.
The report is dated September.
September. Yeah, he received this. And from his part, he did not want to act. I don't know why. Then he referred the IPID officials to my office, and they presented the report. There was Advocate Behari in the office. So as there were continuous inquiries about the report, Advocate Behari requested an official called Osborne Kanye from IPID to come and explain to us how do we move, because there were no attachments in terms of the report. That's why I wanted the advocate to come and talk to it. And Mr. Kanye said, because in the report they were suggesting that there were some corruption, fraud and corruption, and advocate wanted to understand that. I was part of that meeting, and Kanye in that meeting, he indicated that they're still busy with the investigation. That's what he said, and this will be confirmed by Advocate Behari. That Kanye was still trying to conclude the investigation and also create criminal charges against Mkhwanazi. And he will take those charges to DPP. And Advocate, I think he did a follow-up again when this thing was ongoing, when I asked him that, what's happening now? Because Mkhwanazi, as far as the report is concerned now, he is being accused of fraud and corruption, which must be dealt with. Then he wrote an email, he will present the email here to Kanye, Osborne Kanye in IPIT, to check how far is he with DPP, so that Mkhwanazi can be arrested for doing this. That's why in the statement I said IPIT should have concluded and they must arrest Mkhwanazi because they are police officers.
Yes. Did you never become aware that employee relations commenced a disciplinary process against Brigadier Mkhwanazi? Are you telling us you never became aware of that when you say Chief Mapia never acted on this?
DC, I don't know about the internal DC. I started knowing about this through the IPIT report. Remember, in terms of the departmental functioning and the systems of delegation, Chief of Police would discipline any member, and I wouldn't be aware, junior officials, I wouldn't be aware of that. And I do not get involved in that.
Yes, I'm asking more specifically, Brigadier Mkhwanazi.
I was not aware about the internal, and the report was never even shared with me.
Okay. Thank you.
Doctor, you considered that you perused. You must have seen that there were factual, not legal contentions, but factual allegations. I'm sure you noticed that when you perused, did you not? I'm talking fact, not law. Must have seen that there were factual allegations. Is that correct?
Factual allegations.
Yes.
Is that your question?
Sorry?
Is that
I am saying, yes, it is. Sorry. I'm told that somebody cannot hear what you are saying, Doctor. Maybe can you pull them, if that's possible? Pull them towards you, much closer, if the cabling will permit, just closer to you. And please speak up as well. Don't be too soft.
Okay.
Thank you. So I was saying, when you perused the IPIT report, you must have seen that it made factual allegations. Did you not?
Yes.
You did. Please speak up.
Yes, sir.
Yes. And serious allegations at that, because I think somewhere even the word fraud or fraudulent is used. So those are serious allegations, correct?
Correct.
One of the allegations being that Brigadier Mkhwanazi facilitated through a Mr. Chris Stein the registration of CAT VIP motor vehicles in the name of the Metro, correct? You must have seen that when you did your perusal, yes. And also that although there was reference to, that is by Brigadier Mkhwanazi again, to the existence of memoranda those memoranda in fact did not exist. You must have seen those factual allegations as well, correct?
Correct.
Now, Captain Behari comes back to you and says, there is no case here. Was it not a matter of relative ease for you to say, but there are allegations of fraud, which are to the effect that Brigadier Mkhwanazi, through Mr. Chris Stein, registered CAT VIP vehicles in the name of the Metro. What do you say about that, Advocate Behari? Did you at least ask that? You can't just come back to you and say, there's no case here, and then you just accept that without question. What did you say, and why did you not demand of him to explain, for example, those simple factual allegations?
My further engagement with Advocate Behari is that because there are fraud and corruption issues here, can we conclude the process with IP so that he is charged? In terms of internal processes, I am told that there was internal investigation and Chief was dealing with that internal investigation in terms of labor relations.
But in the video you say there's no case here. So it cannot, the two can't stand together.
Yeah.
There being no case and the chief dealing with a case. I'm talking internal case. The two just cannot stand together.
I'm referring to the IPIT report.
Yes.
The question is about the IPIT report.
Yes.
In terms of what I have done as an accounting officer.
Yes.
And you are making a point to say that I should have made a follow-up with Behari.
Yeah.
That with this, after perusal of the report, with these allegations, don't you think that we should persuade the matter further? But my discussion with him, he relies solely to waiting for IP to conclude, because according to him, his understanding. That's why I'm saying I do not want to sort of throwing him under the bus. But he was dealing directly with IPIT and indicating that the report, the IPIT has promised that they've taken the report
Okay,
to DPP.
let's focus on you then. When you say in the video, in the clip there, that there is no case, aren't you basing that on what Advocate Behari said?
Yes, I am.
So that takes me back to my question,
Yes.
which is, did you just take what he told you at face value without even questioning it?
Yes,
And I'm asking this question in the context of you being the accounting officer, the most senior administrative/executive official within the municipality. Someone comes with a report, you have perused and seen very serious allegations which make reference to fraud. So someone comes and just says there's no case here, and you do not engage on the specific allegations that you have read, you yourself have read. How can an executive, most senior executive, or top administrator act in that manner?
As I indicated, that I deal with a lot of issues, but maybe this one in particular, I did not pay too much attention on it. But I must indicate that I am not protecting anyone, and I'm not here to throw anyone under the bus. But the issue of not doing follow-up, I consider that I did not follow up as an accounting officer.
You said, I've forgotten the actual words now, you said maybe you did not take it too seriously. What did you say? But something like that.
I did not pay too much attention.
You did not pay too much attention.
Yeah.
On something so serious, or did you not consider this to be serious?
I consider it serious.
Something that says a private entity's motor vehicles, the private entity being CAT VIP Protection Services, a private entity's vehicles were registered in the name of the municipality, of which you are the top administrator, and you do not pay too much attention to something like that. I just want to understand you, to understand your thinking both now and then.
Then to be honest, I did not peruse the document thoroughly. As I think in my statement, there's somewhere where I indicated that I did not peruse the document. The document immediately, the advocate was part of the meeting with IPIT. The document immediately was taken by him to go and review it.
When you say you did not peruse it thoroughly,
I perused the document after.
After what?
After the opinion and after the interview.
Advocate Behari's opinion?
Yeah, after the opinion.
Before you concluded that there was indeed no case?
After I concluded, after he gave me opinion.
No, the thorough perusal now
is post.
is post you receiving the opinion.
Yes.
But before you come to a definitive view that there is no case here, not so?
Yes.
Now, that still takes us back to my question. Once now you have perused thoroughly, as you say, and you have this opinion, and when you peruse thoroughly, you see that there are serious allegations, one of which is about fraud. How do you then come to this conclusion? And as I see it quite easily, that there is no case here. Why don't you say to Behari, but this says these cars were registered in the municipality's name. Is that correct factually? Why don't you say that to Behari, or why don't you ask that of Behari?
Ask him that, is it factual?
Is it correct that indeed CAT-VIP's motor vehicles, that is, motor vehicles belonging to a private entity, were indeed registered as the Metro's vehicles? Why don't you ask Advocate Behari that? Because you can't, this is a factual allegation, you know. That is why I would not be engaging you if we were talking questions of law, which indeed you would have had to rely on him. But now this is factual. It said cars belonging to CAT-VIP were registered as though they belonged to the municipality. That's factual. And Advocate Behari comes back to you and says to you there is no case here. We now know that you actually accepted that. You say so in the video clip. My question is, having perused the IPIT report thoroughly after receipt of Advocate Behari's report, why did you not engage him on the facts, not law, facts? Is it correct, Advocate Behari, that these cars were indeed registered as if they were the municipality's vehicles? Why don't you ask him that? Also, why don't you ask him, is it correct that an impression was created out there that there are memoranda between the municipality and, I'll focus just on CAT-VIP here because I seem to read this to refer to CAT-VIP. Did that happen? Is there a memorandum between the municipality and CAT-VIP? We know there isn't. But did you engage Advocate Behari on that? What did he say? Those were very easy questions. Both questions, the one regarding to the registration and the one regarding the memorandum.
Yeah, thank you, Chairperson.
Why did you not raise those questions? How could you, in the face of these allegations, reach the conclusion that you did?
I reached the conclusion before I perused the document and before we received all this documentation that supports the IPIT report. That supports the IPIT report. I read that. I properly read this.
I'm
Post my comment.
I'm getting confused now. If you say you reached your conclusion before, do you mean you reached your conclusion before you sought Advocate Behari's view? I want to understand the before.
No, thanks. I indicated in my interview that I received an opinion from Advocate Behari.
Yes.
That the report is vague. I indicated that in my interview. That the report is vague, therefore we're not going to take any action. Julius was cleared. Regarding Mkhwanazi was cleared. But
when did your perusal take place? I just want to get an idea of the timeline. Because you say you reached your conclusion before, but at some stage you perused. So I want the timeline, a clearer timeline.
Sorry, Chair, if you misunderstood. I said post.
Post
The advice.
Post the advice,
Yeah,
but before your final,
but
view on the matter.
Yes, and the matter went further to say that my response goes further to say that after receiving the supporting document, I feel that the opinion given then is not assisting me.
Also, effectively, you did not accept Advocate Behari's advice.
Initially, I did.
Because it was not eventually.
Initially, I did.
But eventually,
post,
yes.
Eventually, post evidence and everything and reading the document properly. I don't think the opinion assisted.
You refer to evidence. Which evidence? What evidence?
The attachment and the illegal memoranda that were signed by Mkhwanazi, and the issue of registering vehicles and so forth.
All right.
After getting that evidence, I felt that the opinion did not help me much.
And then once you reached that conclusion, that is that the opinion was not assisting you, what did you then do as the accounting officer?
I had a discussion with Advocate Behari about this,
and
I want him to come and state what really happened afterwards. Because I gave him the responsibility to peruse all the legal documents and advise me. But looking at the evidence and the complexity of the matter, I feel, as I indicated, that he needs to review and talk to these issues.
Here at the commission? No. I'm asking you about what you did at the time. Once you became aware that what Advocate Behari had given you by way of an opinion did not assist you, what did you do at the time?
At the time...
You are the accounting officer.
Yes.
You've been given an opinion on an issue, or rather on a report that makes very serious allegations. You are the accounting officer. At some point you are satisfied with the opinion, but at a later point you no longer are. Now, once you are no longer satisfied with the opinion, what do you, as the accounting officer, top administrator, do at the time? At the time. Yes.
And at the time, when is the timeline? I can't recall the timeline, but I engaged him, and he said he has responses to that. He was working with IPIT. That's the response I got. Hence, I'm saying it is important that for you to get the full truth of what really transpired with this report. I know I do take responsibility as an accounting officer, but I relied on him. Hence, I'm requesting that he come and testify on the opinion that he initially gave. And as I said, that after looking at the evidence that was now provided in terms of the registration of vehicles and supporting documents for this IPIT report, I feel that that opinion did not assist me.
He gave you a written opinion. When you indicated to him that you were not happy with the opinion, did you write to him? Did you send an email?
No.
Or
No.
you
And-
communicated orally?
Yeah, it was already, even the initial response from him, it was oral, and he said they're working on the response to get more information from IPIT so that they're able to deal with the matter.
Probably this is the the last question from me, at least on this aspect. I want to understand, because you quickly jump to the need for Advocate Behari to come to this commission to testify and clarify his thought processes. But I'm interested to know, there's a point you are not happy with what he told you. You are the accounting officer. There are serious allegations. And this is when, what was the timeline? This is September 2023, and you retired at the end of July 2025. What did you do? You, as the accounting officer, what did you do about these serious allegations that you say you actually saw for yourself when